What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. It's time, you guys. It's finally time for Judge Scott McAfee to make his decision on whether or not Fani Willis will stay or get tossed off this case. Right onto her head, guys. We know District Attorney of Fulton County, Georgia, Ms. Fani Willis has been abusing and misusing her power as the District Attorney, not only, weaponize the Department of Justice system against Trump, stop his 2024 election efforts, but also to, live this lavish lifestyle with her boyfriend, Nathan Wade, taking advantage of the taxpayer funds, guys, and grant money. Her whole office seems to be corrupt. And now it's all coming out, guys. I'm excited to see, exactly where Scott McAfee is leaning towards on Miss Fani Willis. This video is going to key us in on exactly what's going on, what he's, thinking in his head. Because I feel like she should be tossed off. I know you guys feel like she should be tossed off, but a lot of people on the left are trying to, chalk this up to be a big nothing burger. We know that's not true. I'm excited to get into this clip and see exactly where he is going to decide. So we're going to get straight to it. I'll get my thoughts on the back end, guys. Definitely stick around to the end so you guys get my thoughts on the back end. And also, YouTube, push this video out. Definitely stick around until the end of the video, you guys. But let's get straight into it, y'all. Before we do that, though, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also hit that subscribe button, guys. As we're on the road to the truth, hop aboard for the journey. Let's get into it, y'all.
This isn't a court case anymore. This isn't a Fani Willis hearing. This is a massacre. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug Tenaple. This is where the happy patriots are. Special shout out to the A-Dog gang. You guys gave me 5,000 subscribers last night. Tons of super chats. So I don't deserve it, but thank you. I see you out there. But this is Fani Willis wishes none of us could see her right now. Now, the judge didn't rule yet. He has to wait a couple weeks to rule. But I'm going to show you clips of the hearing, and you'll see why Fani Willis just lost. She got masked. The truth is on the side of the anti-Fani Willis case, and that girl, if I were her, I'd be going to another country right now. We're going to start with this little intro right here.
If Miss Willis's ultimate goal.
Miss Willis. That's Fani Willis's lawyer accidentally calling her Miss Wade. Nathan Wade, her boyfriend. Whoops.
Over an hour and a half for argument to be divided amongst themselves as they've already agreed. And I think we've reached the point where I'd like to hear more of how some of the legal arguments apply to what has already been presented. And it may already be possible for me to make a decision without those needing to be material to that decision.
So this is before the whole thing even started. He said he's basically got enough material to make a decision. Now that tells me already, just from what we've seen, that I believe he's leaning against Fani Willis. Now, by the end of today's hearing, which I'll show you, she gets demolished. Now, first, let's look at her and Nathan Wade. Again, just to put you in the courtroom, this is what Fani Willis looked like. She's in a lovely red dress.
21, they appeared 35 times. Now, I want to make clear to the court, both Miss Willis and Mr. Wade never denied that he had been to that condo before. The specific testimony that was elicited by Miss Willis and Mr. Wade was that he had never laid his head, was the direct quote, at that condo, which these records don't prove that he laid his head anywhere. If you were to believe.
That's the sound of her lawyer, and he is really obnoxious sounding. Nathan Wade looks kind of sweaty, and Fani Willis looks cool as a cucumber. By the way, she left just before the whole thing finished, but they gave each side a couple hours to make their case, just to put your head in the room. Now we're going to get to, this isn't Stephen Sadow, who did also mop the floor with this case. This is the other defense attorney for Trump's side coming in and just going into the state and just saying, this is why Fani Willis is completely compromised. This whole case is demolished.
Which requires impartially and without fear or favor discharge my duties as district attorney and take only my lawful compensation, so help me God. The general rule on conflicts of interest for lawyers is in Rule of Professional Conduct 1.7. And we all know, it's all drummed into us, that we cannot have a conflict of interest. And if we do, we have to withdraw or we will be disqualified.
So all he's done right there is he just read out Fani Willis's oath as district attorney. Now he's going to go step by step and show how she has breached it all with conflict of interest.
The basic idea is that a conflict of interest impairs the lawyer's independent professional judgment. That's the test of a conflict and whether it can be waived and whether it's disqualifying. And that conflict is not just financial. It can be any conflict that impairs your independent professional judgment, and you see that in McLaughlin v. Payne. The court asked what was a personal interest for purposes of disqualification. It's anything that impairs professional judgment. That's reflected in the ABA standards that were quoted by Mr. Merchant, which list the prosecutor's personal, political, financial, professional, business, property, or other interests or relationships. And that's really embedded in the prosecutor's oath to act impartially.
Okay, she's already conflicted politically. By the way, you know who else is conflicted politically? Alvin Bragg, Letitia James, Judge Engeron, Chutkin, but especially Letitia James. The things they've said out of court prove they're conflicted. They have gone against their own oath.
And the earlier disqualification order by Judge McBurney was based on political interests, not financial. What my colleagues have described as forensic misconduct is also cognizable as a conflict of interest based on that footnote in Williams' case. The root of all of the problems that we see in this court right now is a conflict of interest arising from their individual personal interests in perpetuating and concealing their relationship. That's the original sin from which all of the other problems flow.
The first proof that they're concealing something with their relationship. That's his first point.
There are 6 different actual conflicts of interest in this case, any one of which warrants disqualification, but collectively practically compelling. First, the financial conflict that's already been covered. Second, the personal ambition, political ambition. Third, there's a dovetailed or complementary pattern of deceit and concealment of the relationship and the money. Fourth, the speech at the church.
That her whole tack in that church testimony was itself a political action, not a religious action. She did it. That's a conflict.
Fifth, the motion for protective order that the DA filed in Mr. Wade's divorce case. Sixth, the way the state has conducted the defense of this motion to disqualify, especially the hearing.
So even this hearing itself is going to end up being part of the trial because Nathan Wade lies on the stand and the district attorney is the one whose job it is to go after him. And she sat there and watched him. He's lying to defend her. So now she's using the state. It is all so many layers of evil. The person who's supposed to be going after Nathan Wade and Terrence Bradley lying is the district attorney of Fulton County, Georgia, but it's Fani Willis. That's who they're lying about.
We have a county code section that flatly prohibits gifts from contractors, period. We have, by analogy, the federal bribery statute, which has a threshold of $5,000, 18 U.S.C. 666. The court asked about burdens and inferences. The court can draw a negative inference from the state's failure to produce evidence to support the invisible magic cash balancing theory.
The invisible magic cash balancing theory is talking about her accounting of stuffing cash in her mattress.
There were 2 contracts for Mr. Wade executed after they acknowledged the relationship began. Each one of them afflicted or conflicted under county and common law. The second conflict is her political ambition, for which he was previously chastised by Judge McBurney. And that's also present in this book. The inside flap of this book says that they were given, quote, exclusive access to thousands of secret documents, emails, text messages, and audio recordings. The court has twice denied defense motions to unseal special purpose grand jury materials. She helped herself to get the glory of this book.
She brags in the flap of her book that she has access to secret emails that the court won't allow the Trump defense to have. That's a conflict of interest in the front flap of the Fani Willis book.
On the DA, under which she has 3 obligations. She has to go to the county commission to get approval to pay him like she did. She cannot accept gifts from a prohibited source. She has to disclose the gifts that she received. She evaded all of those requirements.
Boom, boom, boom. Guilty, guilty, guilty.
Section 2-69 of the county code prohibits gifts from prohibited sources, which he was. There is no boyfriend exception. His part in the pattern of concealment is a story you see in many divorce cases. The husband is hiding things from his wife. How much money he's making, the other woman, and what he's spending on the other woman. And he got on that stand, lied in his interrogatories, and he got on the stand and he lied about lying in the interrogatories. And the lawyers for the DA's office, they just sat there and let him do it. They did nothing to correct obviously perjured testimony. In and of itself, that warrants disqualification of every one of them.
When he perjured himself and lied on the stand to do something about it, and they did nothing, he goes, that alone disqualifies the entire office. He's got her. Judge McAfee can't do it. Wait, it gets even stronger. I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4. I see 5 more clips. It gets even stronger, guys.
The reason they lied and covered it up was to avoid the trouble they're in right now. That served their personal interests to the detriment of their public duties as prosecutors. The last category is the conduct of the defense of this hearing. There were a lot of objections made based on attorney-client privilege during Mr. Bradley's testimony. Most of those objections were made by the state. But the privilege being asserted does not belong to the state. It belongs to Mr. Wade. That shows that the DA's office is serving the personal interests of the DA and Mr. Wade in carrying out further concealment and cover-up of their relationship, and not the cause of justice they are sworn to serve. That is a conflict of interest.
The state is corrupt in this case. Even in this court case, that's the biggest thing McAfee has to look at. He's going, in my own court. Now, if McAfee sides with Fani Willis, he becomes part of endorsing the corrupt state.
It's a continuation of the wrongful pattern of concealment and cover-up that they've engaged in since the beginning. But now they've enlisted the entire office in the enterprise.
So that's going to disqualify the whole office on the Trump case. McAfee could go all the way and say, this whole thing's filthy rotten to the core.
In the written response to the motion to disqualify, they said this, and I quote, "To be absolutely clear, there is no evidence that D.A. Willis derived any financial benefit from Mr. Wade." That's on page 15. Flat out false. 10 lawyers in this case put their name on that, starting with the DA. So throw another log on the bonfire of conflicts of interest.
Throw another log on the bonfire of conflicts of interest. 10 lawyers signed the document that said Fani Willis got no financial help. They're all corrupt. He's calling all of them out. By the way, this should tell you that Georgia, they have a little beating heart of a good legal man there and probably a good judge. You know what doesn't have a good judge? New York. That's why Engeron and Letitia James, their corruption goes all the way up. They don't have a Judge McAfee to stop it. They don't even have this lawyer to stop it. Neither does Washington, D.C., where Chutkan's going after Trump. The good news is Fulton County, Georgia, if you're watching, my Georgian people, there's still some good Republicans there in office and working to save the state from this corruption. We'll let this guy wrap up.
Think of the message that would be sent if they were not disqualified. If this is tolerated, we'll get more of it. This office is a global laughingstock because of their conduct. They should be disqualified and the case should be dismissed.
They should be disqualified. Case should be dismissed. Fani Willis is a global laughingstock, guys. It went from just being in Fulton County, Georgia, to now the DA Fani Willis, who was trying to go after Trump, just became a global, worldwide laughingstock.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Coming from our friend Doug in Exile. I'll definitely be sure to leave that original video link down in the description box below for those of you want to go over there and check that out. Also, you guys to go over there and show our friend Doug a bit of love. Oh my goodness, you guys. I was holding on to my seat in that clip. just in the beginning right there, it looked like the judge was fed up. He had seen and heard enough of, testimonies on what's going on with Fani Willis and her entanglement with Mr. Nathan Wade, guys. It looks like he's gearing up to toss her right on off the case and into the streets. Furthering our points, guys, Fani Willis is the most corrupt and politically motivated district attorney out there. By the way, she's been coming after Trump and then, trying to enrich herself with her boyfriend Nathan Wade abusing taxpayer funds. Very exhilarating to see that lawyer getting up there. Trump's lawyer, absolutely read her rights, letting her know, we've got 6 different instances that, prove conflicts of interest. And I'm going to run them down to you guys. It was so funny to see. He was like, you frauded, you lied, guys. And if you're trying to cover this whole thing up, not sure when they're going to see this and throw you off the case. We just seen a true attorney at work, guys. He absolutely peppered Miss Fani Willis in her whole testimony, what's been going on, and her love triangle with Mr. Nathan Wade, guys, exposing their whole plot, making it essentially impossible for Scott McAfee to rule on the side of Miss Fani Willis, guys. He has laid out so much evidence. Trump's lawyer laid it all out on the line there, guys. First, listing what, Miss Fani Willis vowed under oath to do and how she was going to serve as, her role as district attorney, and then read out how she went against everything that she said under oath, guys. This isn't the first time she's been caught lying under oath, her and her boyfriend, guys. This is nothing new. Now it's all boiling down to what Mr. Scott McAfee, the judge over there, is going to rule. It's almost impossible for him to rule in her favor. I just feel like, with the amount of evidence that has been brought about against Miss Fani Willis and the way they've tried to hide the evidence and all the cover-up and concealment jobs we've been seeing, I mean, it's so hard to say that, Miss Fani Willis is a very impartial district attorney, and she has no conflicts of interest, or nothing is conflicting her or her judgment on this case. I feel like she is very clouded. I'm being quite honest, guys. I feel like that book, Fani Willis, is a big red flag and an indicator of her, political motivation in the case, guys, or personal motivation, honestly, to enrich herself and to gain fame and notoriety through Donald Trump's name, guys. She's got his face on the front cover. If that doesn't show her, political and personal motivation, I don't know what does. She's trying to gain, fame and more monetary value for herself through Donald Trump. It's not working, guys. She has only, made herself look like an absolute fool. She keeps getting up on that stand, acting so defiant, guys, and almost belligerent in the way she is testifying, almost not wanting to answer any questions, beating around the bush, guys. She is not acting like a very professional district attorney. I can't wait to see what Scott McAfee rules, guys. Definitely hop in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. What do you guys think, based off this clip, where do you guys think we see our judge leaning towards? Do you think he's going to, rule in favor of Miss Fani Willis, or do you think he's going to rule that she needs to be tossed and removed from this case, guys? I'm definitely excited to see what you guys got to say. So definitely hop in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Also, make sure you guys hit that share button, guys, and share this to as many Facebook friends as possible. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button. Does not cost a thing. Hit that like button for your boy. And also hit that subscribe button, guys. We're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. I'll catch you guys on the next one. We go. Yo, what's happening, Retro fam? Are you guys looking for a way to connect with your boy Retro and the Retro fam on a day-to-day basis? Look no further, guys. Memberships have now been launched where you can gain exclusive access to chat with your boy Retro and the community and gain perks, guys. Just hop in the description box below and check out the link for memberships, guys. You can subscribe on a monthly basis to chat and have exclusive perks with your boy Retro and the Retro community, guys. Check that out in the description box today.